Hello again, YouTube. We are going to once again jump into a Reddit thread. This one about a teacher who had a gifted student apparently at their in their school, and she basically questioned whether or not he or she was a genius. So this is their story. Oh boy. I don't know, you know, let's see why I don't know why she's questioning this, so let's see why she's questioning if this child was a genius. She says, or he says, that admin had a special meeting to let us know that the student enrolled in our school is a genius. Not sure why they do that. I guess to like look after the kid so he wasn't like bullied, so the teachers knew that, to challenge him. I mean, there could be a bunch of reasons they do that, but they say usually I stay silent during these meetings, so they happen a lot, and that was what I intended to do. But something one of the admins said rubbed me the wrong way. She started making one of her points by saying, I mean, he's probably smarter than all of us. Oh, so this teacher got jealous that this student might be smarter than her. Let's keep reading. I waited a few moments to see if there were any other teachers who'd say anything. Why are you so offended that this student might be smarter than you? Like, I don't want to say that's like narc behavior, but like, why would it offend you? They say they waited a bit to see if the teacher said anything, but they seemed to just roll with it. This was towards the start of the meeting, so it wasn't like the meeting was winding down and they all just wanted to avoid asking questions so they could leave. Yeah, the meeting might have been in the morning, so, they might have wanted to, they might have been just tired. They might not have had their coffee yet, or they're just now having their coffee. I'm an adult, but I don't, drink coffee, so I don't know how all that works, but yeah. They say, I think we all know that vibe. What vibe? And the look we give that one coworker who asked a question at the end of the meeting. No, this meeting was just a few minutes old. I was always, I'm not a teacher, obviously, but I was always that student who asked questions, not caring, when in class it was. If I had a question, I was just gonna ask, I'm sorry if that annoyed you, but I operated under the principle that if, there's a question I'm wondering, chances are other people have that question, so I'm gonna ask the question. So anyway, OP goes on to say, anyway, after waiting a few seconds, I asked, how do we know that he's a genius? What evidence is there? Because, to be honest, it is not reflected in his classwork from what I can tell. So, it's a valid question. IQ tests obviously are the number one way to kind of test if somebody is a genius, at least here in the States. But obviously IQ tests have definitely come into scrutiny because, I'm guessing they're intended to be a global standard, but because of cultural differences across the globe, that's really not a fair global standard. I know that I'm pretty sure these IQ tests have been adapted, to fit different countries in the world, but then it's harder to standardize it because it's harder to tell well, is this question harder for people in this country? How hard is it for people in this country compared to this totally different question, in this country? How do you judge that? How? So, there's IQ tests, and all that aside, assuming the kid is smart, assuming they are a genius, in that case, this schoolwork that they're doing in this, K through 12 schools, assuming, probably isn't all that challenging if they're truly a genius. Like, they could be, like, here at the University of Michigan, there's like multiple little kids, like, just, walking around, you know, like, they're actual students, but they're like, I don't know, 12 or something. So, like, it could be that, this kid isn't challenged, and so, like they should be in college even though they might not be, like, emotionally ready. Like, they should be, challenged with, like, college level work or something, and that's, they're just not motivated. But, like, I don't know, like, even that being said, like, I guess I can't totally blame the teacher for questioning the kid, but we'll see. So they said, I did not mean this as an offense, but if a claim is made, back it up. Okay, yeah, fair. Like, give some kind of, how do we know they're a genius? Plus, his performance in my class was showing otherwise. Okay, so that explains why she doubts this kid, but it's still kind of funny that she's like, oh, this person might be smarter than the teachers? That rubs me the wrong way. I don't know, maybe whoever said that in a weird tone, but anyway. They said, OP says that the admin or whoever said that his parents said he is, was the response. Wow, that kind of flips the story. So apparently, at least in the school, parents could just tell teachers and admin that, oh, this kid is a genius, so we must respect that. Like, I'm assuming that, how the admin presented this, they took it completely seriously. Like, because that's how the teachers are, that's how this teacher's reacting. Like, they're seriously trying to propose this kid as a genius. So OP said, I replied, parents can say anything. Many parents will say their child's a genius or this or that. The reply was the parents had him enrolled in some study where his IQ was measured. How valid was the study, who was doing the study? I don't know. But yeah, they didn't give any IQ number that the school's giving out. And the post says, yeah, but no paperwork was shared with the school. We just have their word. We were told we need to make special considerations for the student. What kind of considerations? It is hard because, for instance, I try to help him design his own classwork and homework based on his interest, while still finding a way to tie it in with what the class is doing. Wait, why? I guess, like, he was already, or she was already showing signs of, like, demotivation, so the teacher tried to, customize the lesson for them, like, which is really nice. But yeah, like, if the teacher's putting in that work already, which is a lot to ask for from a teacher, I'm not surprised that she's a little peeved that she's asking to do even more, potentially, for this student. Like, this ain't no Brown University. Like, schools are not obligated to, like, give a child, like, a whole new assignment to, like, customize it to their interest, Like, it's one thing to, like, like, make assignments more accessible for, disabled kids, but, like, this teacher's already sound like they're going above and beyond, and the school is asking them for more. There's no follow-through from the student. So the teacher's already probably pretty fed up with the student. He doesn't score well on the test, and generally most students range between C and A, but he might struggle to pass most tests or outright fail. Yeah, like, now that I think about it again, I mean, like, geniuses, I mean, like lazy geniuses, I mean, this kid might really be showing just proof that they're not actually good at school, like, at all. Like, this might not be just, them failing. I mean, this might not be them just not trying because they're too smart. This is sounding more and more like they really aren't smart. and the teachers are making it up. I mean, the parents are making it up. So OP continues. Here's an interesting story. Every day at lunch, the kids who bring their lunch can heat on their own. Is 12. Oh, they're 12 to 13-year-olds, so I think it was well deserved. Student agency. I fucking wish we had that. Yo, I would like when I was in high school. I really tried not to ask my mom for lunch money, because like family financial issues. So like I'd heat up, because our school didn't have microwaves. I'd heat up TV dinners, and mind you, this is high school. I was like 14 plus years old. So I'd heat up a TV dinner at 5 a.m. and then just carry it, and I'd eat the soggy TV dinner at that was not warm at all, at like, like, I don't know, 11, 12, whenever my lunch happened to be that year, because it switched up depending on which lunch I had, which lunch period I had. These kids have it great. Just a side tangent, like 12 to 13-year-olds getting to heat their lunch, if they bring it from home, that's like great. Anyway, okay. It doesn't sound like it's just this teacher either, using a microwave in their classroom. It sounds like something every kid gets, I'm happy for them. Like, we seriously need this in my high school. And my high school was one of those upper class high schools, so they had no excuse. Anyway, OP says, well, I was shocked when I was told by another coworker how he put a small piece of bread in the microwave to heat up and walked away to do something else as it was heating. As someone who once put a microwave on fire because I left a small soy sauce packet, empty packet in there, because it super sensitive microwave, and damn, I get nervous for this guy leaving bread in the microwave and just walking away. There's a toaster. It's a lot safer to walk away from. Anyway, okay, he walked away to do something else. Thankfully, another teacher happened to discover it, but by this time it had been in the microwave for so long it melted to the bottom of the microwave, and there was still 5 minutes left when it was discovered. Jesus, he's lucky he didn't he didn't cause a fire, yo. Like, holy shit, he's really lucky he didn't cause a fire. Okay, so now none of the kids can use the microwave on their own anymore, because unless the teacher is there to supervise. So that teacher took away the right for all the other students. That's fucked up, yo. But so to supervise. When asked what he was thinking by one of the other teachers, he said that dial had that said it was an 800. So does that 800 stand for Fahrenheit? You must have a really weird microwave at home, like a really weak microwave at home. I don't know, bro. Like, oh, does he think that like 800 is like the wattage, like on the TV on the back of TV dinners? They're like, oh, this recipe, these steps were made with the assumption of having an 1100 watt microwave. Did he think this was a weak-ass 800-watt microwave? Fuck. He's so lucky he didn't cause a fucking fire. Or he would have had to deal with, like, so much shit, dude. Like, he should have had to buy a new... Well, it seems like the microwave wasn't the issue. Like, he didn't, it wasn't destroyed or anything. Like, the students just lost their privileges because they discovered a really dumb adult. So, there you go. They say, no, it's watts, the teacher responded. Another time, he somehow managed, while trying to plug something in, to unplug all the other computers during one computer class, causing all the students to lose their work. Wait, um, wait. So she's talking about a teacher in the microwave situation, and is she talking about this teacher or a student? I'm gonna assume she's talking about the teacher. Um, wow, like I would assume like I would assume that like all the plugs to the computers are like they're plugged into like a bunch of like power strips, and like there's a few, power strip cords that he managed to unplug all of those, because otherwise it would not make sense that he could just like unplug like all the power strip. I mean, all like otherwise it wouldn't make sense that he could just unplug a bunch computers, like assuming like dozens of computers to plug something in, like that just doesn't make sense. OP says, these are just a few stories, but it's like, was I wrong to ask the questions I did? Because based on what I saw and what I've heard, I felt justified in asking and showing doubt in the meeting. Yeah, you were justified, but you didn't need to tell the story of a freaking teacher. Let me make sure. How he put a small... Okay, so she was told by another coworker how he put... Okay, so it was the student. And so I'm guessing it was also the student who unplugged a bunch of computers to... all the computers in the computer lab to plug in one thing. Okay, so... like... Actually, I mean, I'm not assuming anything, but this student could have made those... Like, it is possible that they are a genius, but they could be autistic, and they could, like the microwave thing, it could have been, like, just, like, a misunderstanding. It could still be that they are, like, not autistic and just dumb, or they could be autistic and just have a low IQ, like, just not reading the room or whatever. But like, so they could be neurodivergent in some way, shape, or form. And again, like unplugging other things, I mean, that especially started making me wonder if it was autism, because like, that may not be stupidity per se. That could just be like, that kind of like narrow cone mindedness that we have as autistic people, where like, we don't necessarily always consider how our actions impact other people. Like, we don't mean to, but like, we can have those one-track minds. Some of us can have those one-track minds. Like, even I have situations, not as big as unplugging an entire computer lab, but situations where I unplug something, and yeah. Or like, where I like, cause trouble for other people to just help myself. So yeah, like, wow. So this kid's either really dumb, possibly autistic, and just like not, able to apply themselves in their schoolwork the way that's being expected, or like, and that's why they did get a genius score in their IQ test, but like still show up like this, so still act like this at school. So let's see what some commenters say. One person said maybe he's smarter than your admin at least. Who knows? Another person said definitely not wrong to question it. He could very well have a high IQ but isn't working to his full potential for a myriad of reasons. Though, and a high IQ doesn't mean he has common sense. That is true. So that part doesn't surprise me. However, I couldn't have parents walk into my room and tell me their child has ADHD and receive an IEP without proof, and in an audacious process. So I find it asinine that doesn't work both ways. I think, okay, like, learning, it's a learning disability, though. It's not like the kid with ADHD doesn't have a high IQ. Like, I have a moderately high IQ, and I have ADHD and autism, so, like, but yeah, like the point there, without making a weird comparison between really smart kids and ADHD, like they're, the two opposites. The point there is that, you need to give evidence that someone needs help, that someone needs those special accommodations, whether they're really smart or they have a learning disability that's keeping them from reaching their full potential. So, yeah, like that commenter, MRP-EE is right. And last commenter says, clearly he's so advanced, everyday tasks are beneath him, and the problem is you are not challenging him. Yeah, we gotta challenge it. We gotta tell him to like wield stuff or like code the, grade book. We gotta tell him to do some actual work, actual challenging work. He's bored. He should be splitting atoms, not engaging in medial coursework. Also, get me the GIEP, and then we can talk accommodations. Yeah, like there's the IEP. I guess IEP also helps with kids who are like, pretty smart and need those accommodations. I didn't know that, so maybe he does need that help. But anyway, that's all I have for today, at least for now. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked it. What do you think? Do you think this kid is smart? Do you think they're neurodivergent? Do you think they're smart but lack common sense? Do you think they are just dumb? Do you think that, are you unable to decide and just want the parents to, give the dang paperwork? What do you think about the admin? Comment below, let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.